Hello guys, as I record this video, detonations and fires continue on two major Russian military sites located deep inside the area, actually almost on the border with Kazakhstan. One is a unique chemical plant, Uralchem AZOT, 1,700 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border. Another one is a very big oil refinery in Orenburg region, also very far away from Ukraine. And this brings us to an important conclusion. In 2025, the Ukrainian armed forces can deliver long-range strikes without waiting for a permission of our allies. And you know why? Because we are doing these strikes with Ukrainian drones and I believe sometime soon with Ukrainian cruise missiles. Russian size, the ability to relocate military facilities deep inside the area, saved the Kremlin during different wars, but in the 21st century, they lost this opportunity. So let's discuss what is happening on that chemical plant and how another destroyed oil refinery fuels Russian gasoline crisis. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of the Russian Federation that has already started, subscribe, we discuss all of that on the channel, and please share these videos to spread the truth. Both of the military facilities destroyed with the Ukrainian long-range drones were located very far away from the border, deep inside the Russian area, actually almost on the border with Kazakhstan. And that is a great breakthrough, which not only demonstrates that after almost 4 years of this war, Ukraine is exhausted. No, just the country after almost 4 years of the full-scale war, way more of war in general with Russia, we are stronger, we are better equipped, and we have our own weapons that keep destroying Russian strategic objects. And number one is that chemical plant that has very typical, for post-Soviet republics name. They like adding different words to create abbreviations or something like that. So that is Uralchem AZOT. That is a unique location. It was super popular. In 2024, it broke the record of production because the Russian army needs a lot of products that they were able to prepare them. So, in that Uralchem AZOT, they produced ammonium, they produce nitric acid, and lots of other things that I won't be able to recreate because I'm your geography teacher, not chemistry teacher, but they were needed for the explosives, for the military industry, and right now, after a series of strikes, it is burning, exploding. You can guess that chemical plants, oil deposit refineries, arsenals, military arsenals full of missiles, they always burn and detonate for days. Russians were very surprised to hear explosions on that military facility because it is almost 2,000 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border, and for centuries, I'm not exaggerating, they believed that kind of Russian territory deep inside the rear, close to the border with Kazakhstan, is very safe from, any strikes, but not anymore. This is what Ukrainian long-range drones can do, and with Flamingos and Neptunes, and hopefully the permission to use Tomahawks or Taurus, we will be able to demilitarize Russia faster. That's the only working peace plan. Subscribe to witness that together, and once again, like, comment these videos, and do push a bell notification to see me every day if you don't mind, because I'm so honored to have our community. And let's continue with another target demilitarized. I hope you're not bored, but that is an oil refinery in Orenburg region. And here I will ask you, dear students, to be very polite and do not play jokes on the name of that refinery, because it is Orsknefteorgsintes. I know many of you were surprised that I can pronounce Russian names and proper names that well, but in Ukraine, especially when you were born still in times of the Soviet Union, you did not have a choice, but you knew Russian, so I do know the language. I am a Ukrainian native speaker. In my family, I always spoke Ukrainian and speak Ukrainian, but I can speak Russian, I can read Russian, and you can easily recognize one funny word at the beginning, Orsknefte, but please do not play with this term, Orsk, you know, what does it remind you? Don't say it, because YouTube is very sensitive. Instead, let me know in comments below, do you still listen to the speeches of Vladimir Putin? Because I stopped doing that, I guess, in 2022, when I realized that he is a mad war criminal. But do you still care what he's saying, whether he's threatening your countries? It's super important and interesting to know. In Orenburg, located 1,500 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border, they had very serious detonations of that oil refinery that produced up to 30 different types of oil products. And you all know that Russia experiences the largest gasoline crisis ever in their life. More than 38% of all the oil refining facilities were out of order before we targeted this Orsknefteprodukt. So now it is even more. And for those of you who enjoy our Russian geography lessons, I even prepared a list of Russian regions that experience serious shortages of fuel, more than 20% shortage on their domestic market in Russia, the country that was the gas station of the planet. And if you enjoy these geography lessons, I will briefly read you those regions that are most affected, where like a lot of gas stations are closed and people actually do not stand in the queues anymore because you cannot buy anything. Queues are a very strong sign that the Russian economy and the Russian federal project is failing, and it resembles Soviet times. So, Ryazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Saratov, Samara, Ulyanovsk, Penza, Rostov, Astrakhan, Mordovia, Chuvashia, Kalmykia, Tatarstan, and these are separate republics with a great potential to become independent. And you also know there are more and more protests on the far east of Russia, where people are dissatisfied, well, of course, with the state of the Russian economy, with the explosions that they witness on their military sites, and with some reforms of the Kremlin that wants to take away any influence, any power from rural administrations, give it all to regions and thus to the Kremlin. But let's continue. Serious gasoline crisis is also in Amur, Magadan, Sakhalin, Khabarovsk, Yakutia, Chukotka, Kamchatka, of course, Voronezh, Belgorod, Kursk, on the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine, and what perhaps is the greatest achievement, in Moscow and Leningrad. St. Petersburg, but they still name the region after Lenin, the evil communist leader. You know, what is sad about the Russian Federation is that all money, all resources, all attention is given only to its capitals, the political one, Moscow, and the one they used to describe as the cultural one, St. Petersburg. They actually hate to associate themselves with Moscow, and in general, the potential of the dissolution of the Russian Federation is really great. Right now, it is the largest country in the world that is not united by, respect or good living conditions or religion or Latin language. It's an artificial Frankenstein that consists of Moscow, mafia, and a lot of suppressed nations with the great potential to become free and way kinder, and it may be easier to negotiate oil prices, gas prices with them, because right now what the Kremlin does, it steals all the resources, it conscripts their people to become war criminals on the front lines in Ukraine, and many of them agree because of that tremendous misery and poverty that they experience far from Moscow. So let me know, what do you think will be the most important trigger for the collapse of the Russian Federation? Do you still watch Putin? And remember to watch me tomorrow for our live conversation, 9 p.m. Kyiv. And thank you for joining also the new channel Anna Danilchuk with more discussion style videos. Also follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord. The links in the description of this video, same as the link to our merch shop with lots of sweatshirts and hoodies that will keep you warm if autumn is in your part of the world, or t-shirts for a hot summer in the southern hemisphere, but they also turn you in beautiful ambassadors of Ukraine. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. In Kyiv, I drink a lot of coffee. By the way, you can prepare some questions for tomorrow's live about my time in the capital of Ukraine. Love you very much. Thank you so much for standing with us against this evil, and Slava Ukraini!